Welcome back, class. This is Professor Leo, and this is part 2 of me going over the Season 8 final exams, aka the reunion. So I already made a video going over pretty much all the cast members and my thoughts on them, except for Meg, Mason, Madison, and Alex. I felt, they kind of deserve their own video, and the past one was getting a little bit long. So let's start with Madison. Madison was the most controversial cast member at the reunion, and maybe the most controversial of the season. I actually was defending Madison quite a bit during the season. I felt that she got a bad rap in the pods. People acting like, oh, she's like different with different people. I think people can be like that when they date. I did admittedly poke fun at her art a little bit, but I honestly do think her art has potential. But I felt for her a little bit. Also, she had a tough time in the pods. I had a tough time in the pods. I felt a bit of a kinship. The reunion was very interesting because I realized is that Madison does not just seem to be a significant character in the pods, but she actually seems to be a significant character even out of the pods and even in this past year between the filming and the release. I had no idea that her and Joey had any sort of, I guess, interaction or history, whatever you want to call it. I really do wish that with these screenshots that she brought, she had brought the screenshots of that, because I'm still left wondering, was it friendly? Was it flirty? It's still, I don't know. It's hard for me to wrap my head around that Joey, while engaged, would hit on another cast member. It just seems like, even if he was into her, it just seems like so crazy to do that, but I know crazier things have happened. Now, the bringing the screenshots was a brilliant move, and also a very controversial move, because, sharing screenshots, it's like sort of, it goes against an unspoken decorum. However, what she shared wasn't really that spicy. I mean, we've all been saying that, a couple skull emojis, you know what I mean? And it wasn't really anything. It was a bit of a nothing burger. However, lover or hater, this is the kind of stuff that makes these reunions interesting. I mean, with the show being a bit boring throughout the pods in the season, this reunion was pretty electric, and she was a big part of that. Now, Alex seemed to hold his own really well. He was calm, collected, he stood up for himself. That said, he got off easy. If you know what I mean, you know what I mean? And that's all I'm going to say about that. Okay, Mason and Meg. An interesting one. So it seems like they tried to date. They dated a little bit, but now they're good friends. Meg seems to really have Mason's back. She was defending him. I saw some comments and they're like, oh, Meg is not a girl's girl. Look, when I see this stuff, I'm sorry, y'all. Like, just because you're not defending one girl doesn't mean you're not a girl's girl. Like, all these people have been through so much drama and pressure. You can be a girl's girl and still be, against one girl. I don't know. I don't think she loses girl's girl status just because of that. I feel the same way if someone's a guy's guy. It's a very sacred thing to be a girl's girl or to be a guy's guy. And so I just think to call someone not that is a very serious accusation, and I think that we should be more cautious before giving it. I gotta be honest, the filming of the reveal was a little bit... I have a hard time believing that's real. I'd love for it to be, but, like, you didn't see each other for the first time. Like, okay, Instagram aside, like, how would you coordinate, like, getting to the house? Does someone go in the back door? Like, I would have liked to see more how you actually set up the reveal. That would have been very interesting. But all in all, the situation, as well as the reunion as a whole, was complex. And I think that's one thing that I'll end with here is we tune into these reunions because we want a lot of answers, and oftentimes we are left with more questions. And I know that can be frustrating, but I also do feel that it's impossible to know everything because a year has happened in between filming and the reunion, and so much can change. But all we can do is take what Netflix gives us, and that's all.